All right, 694 miles. Suggested mile for oil change is actually like 621 miles. I went a little over. I use this bad boy for commuting. So, yeah. Oil looks good. I'm gonna smell it. Smells good. Doesn't smell burnt. Everything in there looks nice and clean still. I'm gonna wipe this bad boy down here real quick and check the oil level. See what we got. Okay, so as you can see, there's the, there you go. Dip her back in there. Screw it down, because that's gonna be your proper oil height. Okay. Now, of course, when you pull this out, this thing's gonna be full of oil because it's gonna sling the oil around in there when it's running. But when it stopped, let's see where we're at. Oh, yeah. All right, we are, there we go. We're right on the top and on the bottom of that. So let's change the oil out, shall we? All right, so this is the 2022, so it probably looks a little bit different. A little bolt right here, 12mm wrench. Drop this right out of here. So let's check it out. Ooh, that sucker was tight. Right, nice and loose. And I did drive this bad boy around a little bit to let the oil get nice and warm. Here we go. Yeah, not too bad. Actually pretty dark. So I'm gonna let that just run out for a little bit. I don't think you want to sit here and watch this. And we'll be back. So we are using the 10W30SJ 4-stroke motorcycle oil. This is Honda. According to the book here, it says right here, if using non-Honda engine oil, use the label to make sure that the oil satisfies all the following standards. And there are the standards there, the JSO T903 standard, SAE standard, 10W30, API classification or higher. So somebody had asked in a group if they could use car oil in the motorcycle. I highly recommend against that, because in a car, there's so many different additives in their oil, you know, to help with anti-friction. Well, motorcycles, their clutch and everything else is just kind of shared by that. So by using car oil with the additives, it could cause your clutch to slip, which means your transmission's going to be not putting out the proper power. Your bike's going to be running weak. It could be detrimental to your motorcycle. Basically, use motorcycle oil because it's what you're supposed to use. Not all oils are created equal. So that's been my experience. Too many additives will cause slippage if you don't use the right stuff. So little. All right, nice and clean under there. Before we add any oil, do not forget to put the oil plug back in, because I have done that many times before in the past. There we go. Get that bad boy up there. I don't have a torque wrench to put this on. I'm just going to make it snug. It was really snug when I pulled it off, so if you want to use a torque wrench, feel free. If not, get it snug, but not too tight. But not loose enough that it's going to fall off on you, all right? I put my 12mm wrench in my little tool bag here. I'm going to give her the beans here in one turn. All right. That'll be tight enough. And let's go to the other side and start filling her with oil. Here's the oil that I pulled out of her. Very, very soupy. Let's get the wrench in here. I don't see any gunk coming up out of the bottom. It's definitely got a little bit of a metal shine to it, which is fine. That's all those new parts. But it's not bad. It still has its... It does smell a little burnt. Like I said, it's got a little bit of a shimmer to the oil itself, which it's a new engine, so it's going to have that. You turn to page 136 in your Super Cub manual, it'll tell you what the recommended engine oil is up here, which there's a lot of information. We kind of went over a little bit of that, but for your engine oil capacity, it looks like after draining is 0.85 US quarts or 0.80 liters. If you're going to drain it and change the oil filter, it's 0.90 US quarts or 0.85 liters. If you're going to pull your engine apart, it's 1.0 US quarts or 1.0 liter. So we've got this bad boy right here, and we will measure out roughly 0.85 quarts. So we'll see how close we can come. We'll be careful. 27.2 ounces is 0.85 quarts. It would be great if the graduation marks ran the other way, so that way you knew how much you used, not how much is in the container. But it's all right, we'll deduce. And we'll probably end up down in this area somewhere. But we'll fill it up a little bit, and we'll start the engine up. And then we'll check the oil. But we'll have to start the engine up and shift it as well, since they all share the same system. See where we're sitting. We're gonna stop right there for now. I think that's probably plenty. Let's take a look inside. This doesn't really matter because you have to cycle the oil through, but kind of tighten it down a little bit. We can check the oil level where it is resting at, but that's just really for shits and giggles because so we're just barely above that notch, where that's fine, but once we run it, hopefully it should go down below that notch a little bit. Well, it should, so. Okay, I've let the bike set for about 10 minutes here to let the oil cool down. So let's see what the oil level is now. Pull this guy out, wipe it off. See what oil level sits at. And we are sitting right where we need to be. We are right in between the top and, well, we're right at the top. So, perfect. Be better if the quarts of oil counted down, not up. I want to know how much oil I have, and then I want to know how much oil I've used. I could see it from both perspectives. But still. All right, so that's pretty much it. Just make sure that when you are filling your Super Cub, or really any of your motorcycles, with oil, that you don't overfill them, because you will end up creating too much pressure in the crankcase, and it'll push that oil right out of your engine and into your intake, and that can cause some damage and oil leakage and all that good stuff, and you don't want that. So this was pretty easy first oil, not change, but drain and change over, because I didn't do the oil filter on this go around. It's not due for quite some time. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you want to see more content, let me know. I will gladly do that, because who doesn't want to see more of the Super Cub, right? Right? Look at that bad boy. Oh, it's just beautiful. And that guy over there just wandering around. All right, take care, everybody. We'll see you soon. And there, after emptying this container, there's some of the stuff that was actually in my oil. So, new engine. Just what happens. It's got to wear in properly.